And we are live, everybody. NBA strategy show / the process / I really need to figure out what we want to call this moving forward. But we're here. We're here. It's Wednesday, November 12th. And we got two different slates today. Man, my camera is just so weird. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell, so you know when everything goes live. There we go. Follow me on Twitter, at Josh Engleman. Yesterday, we had a 5-gamer in front of us. Very weird one. Not a lot of good. It's probably the best way to say it. It's kind of gross. But we don't have that today. And this is going to be a lot. So, DraftKings has a 9-game slate. They've got the 3 7 o'clocks, the 2 7:30s, the 3 8s, and the 8:30. Very reasonable. There's an hour gap between 8:30 and 9:30. We've got 3 late games, 9:30, 10, 10:30. FanDuel kept them all, which legit super annoying. Doesn't matter. Got to project everything anyway, but it's a lot easier when these slates are the same. That way we can kind of talk about them the same way. Now there's no context whatsoever from one to the other because 3 extra games changes everything. Brandon, is this new time permanent? Yes. It's by all accounts, yes. Honestly, I probably should have went earlier today, but not quite. So we got to get into it. We got a lot to talk about. Gonna take a minute. Plenty of time. Let's work through these teams. And, you know, it's another standard issue full day at Stokastic. This show, NFL Live, or NFL Strategy Show after this. Deeper dive. Live before lock. Playback tonight. I have no idea what's been said. I don't know if Greg's mentioned it. I don't know if I've mentioned it. Maybe I did. I can't remember now. You guys will know if I have. Special guests tonight on Playback. I want to put that out there. You guys are going to want to watch on Playback tonight. I mean, it should be a great slate for swaps and news in that first hour. Don't 100% quote me on this. I want to do 99 just in case anything's changed, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be live with people on Playback tonight for about 3 hours. And we've got a special guest. And when I say special guest, I don't mean like an extra Stokastic person. So, you know, come on in. It's going to be fun. All right, give me 1 second. I just got to look at this stream quickly on my phone. And then we're good to go. We'll get to this Milwaukee Bucks team. Yep, okay. Good to go. All right. Watch coming off. Let's charge this bad boy. Jeremy Savage, not quite. Way better. Way better. Sorry, buddy. Special guest Pat Mayo, way better. You guys are aiming too low. You won't guess this, just FYI, but you're aiming too low. And I don't... Shout out Pat Mayo. Love Pat Mayo. It's funny, I was thinking about Pat Mayo yesterday, actually. Given the news of Nico Harrison getting shit canned by the Mavs, takes me back to the day that Luka Doncic was traded to the Lakers. I woke up, it was like 7 o'clock in the morning, and saw the news, fired off a tweet. I think within 10 minutes, I was live with Pat Mayo talking about the Luka trade. So, yeah, oddly enough, Pat Mayo was on my mind yesterday. I love Pat. But yeah, he and I were talking about that Luka trade Within like 15 minutes of me waking up, he was like, can you go live like now? I was like, yeah, I guess, sure. This will be fun. We fired it up at that point. All right, here we go. Bucks in Charlotte. 6.5 favorites. 232 total. Nothing too crazy here other than the Q tag on Giannis, which, you know, my expectation is we're just going to see that relatively regularly. But I mean, this is real. Like, in theory, he could miss. No other real interesting injury news. I mean, I guess I should touch on Taurean Prince is going to be out for a while. Probably the rest of the year. Doesn't have to be, but you never know. Herniated disc in his back. Like, there's no timetable for something like that. And then obviously KPJ. Out still. So this should look really similar to everything we've had recently. This isn't a spot where I'm going to go like crazy talking to you guys about the minutes for these guys. We'll only dig into like really intricate situations when we get to those weird situations. Wow, Giannis played 37, 36, and 37 in his last three. Yeah, I do want to go to 34. But for the most part, like, this should all just handle itself. God, I don't want to over project Kyle Kuzma. Okay, that's going to be as good as it's going to get. In terms of Bucks minutes, I've already taken a look at their rates as well. I'll just pull up the Bucks once we finish the Hornets. Now for the Hornets, still no LaMelo. Tijan Salon is with the G League team. No Josh Green, no Grant Williams, no Brandon Miller. So this one, much like the others, is just going to look super duper similar. We're kind of used to this. Colin Sexton, Zion James, Con Knipple, Miles Bridges, Ryan Kalkbrenner expected to get at the start. Sexton, Simpson, Connaughton are all probable. So like we don't really have any weird, interesting news, at least for this first game, which is nice, other than obviously Giannis. And it should go without saying that if Giannis Antetokounmpo is out for Milwaukee, we're going to have a lot of things that we get to because the matchup's perfect. And then we're going to be getting the Bobby Portis, Kyle Kuzma experiences and probably a much more interesting Miles Turner. So let's just finish off these minutes for these Charlotte guys. God, Con Knipple really playing a decent chunk lately. I don't trust this game though. Yeah, most of this is just like me moving around a minute on all these guys, whether it's Simpson or McNeely or Pat Connaughton. Like, these guys aren't all that interesting. Guess we're making Antonio Reeves a fringe player for today. 1 bonus minute. Sorry, Mason Plumlee, who I actually thought was going to start, but shout out Ryan Kalkbrenner. All right, do I have rates in? Some. Okay, so we are wildly over projecting Colin Sexton's shots, wildly over projecting Zion James's shots, wildly over projecting Miles Bridges' shots, wildly over projecting Ryan Kalkbrenner's shots. Fair enough. Let's kill every one of these usage rates and see where it's at before those things. All right, so Sexton's got to come way down. Is there like an expectation that he's going to play less today? What's his prop? Okay, we're 3 points clear. So that makes sense. So Sexton, like a 28% usage guy, 27% usage guy here. Get something like that in. Oh, that's still way too high. There's just like no usage to be found here. Man, it's still Miles. Okay. I am dramatically juicing these guys. What is... I might end up on more Charlotte than I want today based on this first glance. Not something I'm advocating for. Why is he taking so many damn twos? All right. Nah, Miles Bridges appeared to be the linchpin for why all these stats were wrong. That guy just is soaking up usage without having LaMelo here and without having Brandon Miller here. This is really like a bit of a production for this Charlotte bench. Because these guys are all like 2 notches out of their role, there's so much usage to go around on this team. And a lot of these guys don't exactly deserve it. So I'm trying to tweak some of these usage rates on guys like Trey Mann so that Israel, you're barely late, brother. We just started. Because I got this weird feeling that I'm going to be liking Charlotte today. And I'd prefer to get that feeling treated because it feels like a disease. This is fascinating. All right, how does that look now? Over Sexton, slightly over James, slightly over Knipple, neutral Bridges, neutral Kalkbrenner. So we just need to bring Sexton down like a half notch and Zion James down like a half notch. And we're going to be in the ballpark. That's going to have to be it. Who's getting this crazy bump? Nobody, really. Okay. Free throws all look fine. Assist rate. Probably a little healthy on Zion James. He's averaging 2.6 assists per 100 possessions. I've got it slightly higher. Not really his skill set. Not to mention, terribly small sample on Zion James. Rebounds are fine here. Probably have him over projected from a rebound perspective, but actually the rate has been fine. 4.7 per 100 possessions on the defensive end. Got a flip. Ryan Kalkbrenner, much better offensive rebounder than defensive rebounder. Okay. So we want to bump up Ryan Kalkbrenner's offensive rebounding and decrease his defensive rebounding. All right. For what I can tell, we're pretty dialed in for this first game. So let's take a look at it, see if anything stands out on the DraftKings side. Remember, very preliminary look, but I don't think that these two teams are very difficult to project right now, so I don't think it takes all that much. I mean, I've got Giannis as the best point per dollar value in this one at 11.7, so think about it like that. I mean, that's just telling you, you know, how much, how uninteresting, I guess, the rest of this is from a specific perspective. But Giannis, 34 minutes, 11-7 in a matchup against Charlotte with not a soul on the team that can slow him down. Am I lofty on that projection? Maybe. We got a couple other guys right at 5x. Miles Bridges, Moussa Diabate, Ryan Rollins, Con Knipple, Kuzma's fine, Gary Trent's fine. Thought Sexton was going to look a little bit better here. He doesn't. Just realized those projections aren't refreshed. Now they're refreshed. Yeah, that looks much more reasonable to what I was thinking. It's still Giannis at the top, but it's Rollins second, then it's Bridges. Apparently this didn't refresh before I pulled it over. How do these look in relationship to the betting markets right now? Because that is my next question. Maybe we'll take a peek at OddsShopper after this. All right, so from the Milwaukee side, Nothing too crazy. A little over on Giannis's points. I don't have a ton of regret in that in this matchup. Well over Gary Trent's assists. So let me just look at that quickly. Trent is averaging 3.5 assists per 100 possessions, slightly higher than his baseline rate. So I'm just going to knock that back ever so slightly. That gets Gary Trent to 22 fantasy points. There we go. Looking good. I think it's going to be really hard to get away from Giannis today. 11-7 is just not a problematic price tag against the Charlotte Hornets. But we're going to have much more interesting games to hit. So let's start getting to them. Chicago Bulls, 2.5-point dogs in Detroit, 234 total. Bulls last played on Monday, lost to the Spurs. They don't play again until Sunday. So they're off Thursday, Friday, Saturday. At Detroit, then at Utah. Okay. Well, let's take a look at the Bulls here. We do not know the status of Josh Giddey. He's questionable. He missed the last one. We do have a bunch of guys out. Kobe White, obviously. Zach Collins, obviously. Asenge, Lachlan Ulbrich, Emmanuel Miller, Trenton Flowers, likely all with the G League team. So we're going to need to redistribute some of these minutes now because we're going to have Giddey in with the expectation that he's starting. So let's play with these rotations a bit. And since I just saw my DMs bouncing, just make sure I'm not missing anything. Perfect. I'm not. All right, Trey Jones. 30 minutes makes sense to me. 29 minutes makes sense to me. Should have kept it. Giddey, the sprained ankle. He's just going to go right back into like 34, 35. Okoro has been sitting right at 24 for ages now. Matas Buzelis minutes are very weird. Probably going to pull him back down to 28. And then I think Vooch just sits pretty naturally at 30. Herder obviously has to come back down now. Him and Dosunmu can both sit at that 26 mark. Jaylen Smith keeps his backup center run. That doesn't matter. Patrick Williams gets his 22. And if I just clear these idiots, that leaves me 4 minutes to go. We're going to split those across all three of these guys. 2, 1, and 1. And that'll be the Bulls. Now let's see how we're looking stat-wise. Trey Jones looks fine. Josh Giddey way over projected. He's going to need a pretty sizable usage haircut there. Wow. Still pretty significant. I thought that would drop a lot more. Just no usage on this team. All right, that's perfect. Good balance on Jones, Giddey, Okoro, Buzelis. Quite a bit over on Vooch. That's an easy fix as well. But all the scoring information looks fine. Little bit of underrepresentation on Herder and Dosunmu and Jaylen Smith. I think I could fix that pretty quickly. Jaylen Smith going from a 21.5% usage rate guy to basically the same, which is undercutting him, oddly. So let's lock Dosunmu, Herder, and Jaylen Smith and see how that affects it. Worse for Jaylen Smith, worse for Herder. That's easy. 21.5, 20, 24.5. That's probably going to get us. Close enough, close enough. Wow, Jaylen Smith just drowning here. That dude does shoot a lot, so not terribly surprising here. That's going to be as good as I could do for this dude. Do I have rotations weird? No, that should be clean. Whatever. Assists. No, actually, free throws. We are under projecting Trey Jones free throws by 2. And he is taking 3.4 more free throws per game or per 100 possessions than he had been previously. He's at 7.3 so far this season. Used to be like a 4 guy. So I don't know how much he's drawing more free throws, but I got to at least account for a little bit of it. Everybody else on the free throw side is probably fine. Actually, I think Herder and Desunmu need a little bit of help there. I just think people are drawing more fouls now, and it's going to take a little bit to recalibrate. Now, assists. Giddey averaging 13.2 assists per 100 possessions. Just, I mean, that dude's so good at diming people up. Otherwise, the rest of this looks fine. A little bit of a rebounding help for Jaylen Smith, and we're going to be good enough to look at this Bulls side. But let's hop to the Pistons first. Always best to do a full game at once and not one team at a time. Injury report for the Pistons. Now, this is going to be important. Tobias Harris out, and by all accounts, it seems like he's going to be out for a bit. Sasser still out. Ivy still out. Asar Thompson out. Karis LeVert not on the injury report at all. Isaiah Stewart is doubtful. I'm going to assume he's not playing for this, but you know, in theory, doubtful can become questionable and therefore in. We also have a Q tag on Cade Cunningham, left hip contusion, and that is Cade Cunningham coming off of the 45-minute performance last time out, where he set the NBA record for most missed shots in the league, in a game. I think it's like a bit of play style stuff, mild rule change stuff. But to my knowledge, it is up quite a bit. I haven't looked at it myself, but I've seen it talked about. I don't know why this coffee sucks so, man. It's like I didn't put one of my ingredients in it, and it's annoying. Anyway, we got to assume Cade is just in. So got him in for 36 minutes. Now that they're so shorthanded, I'm going to go 31 for Duncan Robinson. We got the spot start for Javonte Green with all these guys out. He ended up playing 38 minutes. Worst case scenario, that's 33 in regulation. Get him to 29. Ron Holland was dreadful. We're going to keep him at 28. Could easily play more minutes, but that game did not work out for Ron Holland. And then I think 31 makes sense for Jaylen Duren, but he could very easily play more. Actually, I'm going to take it to 32. He's played 33, 34, 35, 37, and 40 in 5 out of his last 7. So I'll take my chances there. I wish I would have had the chance to update with my stuff for Danish Jenkins, because I think I would have had him disproportionately projected, and he ended up playing 34 minutes. Now, obviously, we are not expecting 34 minutes out of Danish Jenkins, so it's probably in our best interest to take a peek at that Detroit popcorn machine game flow. Because Danish Jenkins played the final 22 straight minutes. He checked in with 5 minutes left in the third quarter and never left the floor again. So, obviously not going to get those kind of rotations. I mean, realistically, you take those OT minutes off, it gets you to 29. Doesn't have to close, gets you to 24. I mean, I think like 22 or 24 for Danish Jenkins makes some sense. a weird guy to project today. Chaz Lanier got 27 minutes. Let's take a peek at that rotation. Played most of the first half. Didn't get that extended run. I guess we got to assume that gets cut a little bit. You know, he's probably like a 20 guy today. Paul Reed's obviously going to get like some backup run and not be interesting on a slate this big. We still got a lot of minutes left to go. That's interesting. Get Bobby Clintman in. Oh, yeah, Karis LeVert. God, I'm stupid. This Danish Jenkins, Chaz Lanier minutes are just going to be completely different now. Man, how much can Karis LeVert play? Just going to go 22 to LeVert. This is going to cause me to bring down Danish Jenkins to 20 and Chaz Lanier to 16. And now we just have to finish off with 13 minutes of scrub time. That I think is a better balance. And we'll go 23, 21, 17. We get Bobby Clintman in for 8. And then we'll just spill 2 over onto Tolu Smith. I hate that Beef Stew is out. I like that guy, man. Hell of a rim protector. If Holland didn't suck, he would have had more minutes, and that takes away from Jenkins or not? Yeah. Well, I mean, it just takes away from all of those guys, whether it's because like none of the like these guys are all quite a bit smaller than Ron Holland. But yeah, like if Ron Holland was going, then he probably stays out there. But would it be surprising at all for Jenkins to get 28 today? No. No, not at all. All right, so we got both of those done. Let's take a look at Pistons rates quickly. Oh my gosh, I got to start moving way faster than I'm moving right now. This is going to be less about rate tweaks. Cade actually over, which I'm not at all surprised to see. Ooh, wrong rate. I was wrong. Okay, now we're good. Relatively neutral. Way over Javonte Green, way over Ron Holland, way over Duren. Go ahead and pull all of those. Damn, way over like fucking everybody. If I pull every one of these rates, is it just fixed? Slightly under Cade. Nah, ruins Cade. Is a classic flop lag spot where Holland randomly scores 40. Trey, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. Wow, where are these shots gonna go? I really gotta cut like every single one of these dudes. Let's just see what this looks like when I cut everybody. I mean, Duncan Robinson's going to end up with like 1 million shots. Yeah, that did happen. Now we're cooking. We are very dangerously close to looking at game number 2. I'm trying to move a little bit quicker on these rate changes because we just have so many games to get through today. So I only want to hit them on like situations where we have a bunch of dudes out and it's like negatively impacting what's going on by having those guys not in. All right, we're going to let that sail. Free throws for the Pistons. Ron Holland is taking more, and I do have him under projected. So Ron Holland's going to get a couple extra free throws. Cade's assist rate is 12.7 per 100 possessions. Doing as much as I can there. Rebounds look fine. A little heavy. Yeah, Cade's rebounding a little bit less. Probably because he's doing literally everything for the team. So not super shocking. All right, let's take a peek at these projections for the second game on the slate. No fault, yes. That summary video is going to be up every single day. DraftKings FanDuel breakdown. All right. Bulls, Pistons. Again, we've got a bunch of injury news here. Q-tag Josh Giddey, Q-tag Cade Cunningham. I probably should have spent a little bit less time here, obviously. So if Giddey's out, we just saw this. We know what that ends up doing for Ayo Dosunmu and for Kevin Huerter. If Cade is out, batten down the hatches because you're just getting to everything from Detroit at that point. That doesn't need an explanation. Like, they're going to free up all of their usage in 36 minutes. The Pistons will be a preposterous team to roster today if Cade Cunningham doesn't play. Top guy on the list for me right now is Jaylen Duren. Interesting matchup against Vooch because Vooch is big enough to match up with Duren. Like, obviously, I am not a Vooch guy. I find his defense to be terrible. His offense has become a really weird thing where somehow it's amazing for the past year and a half. I don't know the deal here. But from a size perspective, like, Vooch isn't losing in this matchup to Duren in the way that most people would. But I still like Duren. I mean, he's been on a hell of a tear to start this season. And $4,100 Danish Jenkins might sneak into some value. Orlando and the Knicks. I believe we can move pretty quickly for this one. Jalen Suggs back. So he'll move back into the starting lineup in place of Anthony Black. Apparently Jamal Keane and Colin Castleton are both out. Information no one cares about. So minutes-wise, this should be relatively easy. Other than the last time that Jalen Suggs... Vooch was not a terror on offense for like the previous 5 years. Basically the entire time he was in Chicago. Save for last year. It had been a minute since he was shooting well like he had been in Orlando. Basically from the time that trade happened, he was terrible until last year. He couldn't shoot worth shit. It all disappeared. When he was with Orlando, that was a different story. But now he's old and it's working again? I don't know. Jalen Suggs played 29 minutes last time out. What the hell do we do with that? Is that real? Is it going to be more? What's the ceiling? Is that the ceiling? Is that... Is it just going to be the 20s again? I'm going to go 27. I have clearly no idea. But based on what his price tag ends up being, this could be a very important minutes decision. Bane's fine there. Actually, make that 33. Franz, fine. Paolo, fine. Wendell Carter Jr., fine. Anthony Black, come back down to 26. Tristan Da Silva comes back down. Gogo Padze, I'll go up 1. John Isaac can come back down quite a bit. I don't know what the deal is there. They got to get off that salary. Tyus Jones has been awful for Orlando. Oof. Yeah, completely agree, Trevor. That's probably why I wasn't a huge fan of Vooch. But his offense has been stupid lately. Like, there's the trade right here. Peak of his powers on offense, a +2 guy. Crater. Yeah, not that great. Not that great. And then last year he was right back to normal. You know, I assume it has a lot to do with like having to play with DeMar DeRozan for a while. That probably didn't help. Now, he can't make a damn thing at the rim, but he's shooting 48% from 3 this season on 4.5. He doesn't shoot enough, as weird as it sounds. Now, I am going to have to make a couple minor adjustments to this Orlando team, including absolutely nerfing Jalen Suggs. All right, so 24-7 goes down to 21, and I'm still over? Is that going to become like 19? No, way lower. All right, there's Suggs. Right around neutral usage. It'll get us where we need to be. Little over Bane. Franz. Oh, wait, way over Paolo. So if I just cut Paolo, this is going to put everybody right where they need to be. That's going to be worse. Yeah, way worse. This starting to not understand what I'm doing. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Close, 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 close. I could deal with this. Free throws for the Magic. They do not appear to be having the same experience as everybody else. They don't appear to be having the same assist experience as everybody else. Is Wendell Carter Jr. grabbing less rebounds? Yes, by a lot. Go ahead and nerf that. Franz Wagner, are you grabbing more offensive rebounds? Yes, quite a bit. Okay. Desmond Bane, are you grabbing less rebounds? Yes, you are. Okay. I think that's the Magic. Let's look at the Knicks. This should look like what we thought we'd be getting, which is Mitchell Robinson in. Knicks are on the back-to-back. Beat up on Memphis yesterday. Smacked them by 13. 4.5-point favorites here at home against the Magic. 227 total. Let's go ahead and get Mitchell Robinson back into that starting lineup. Let's go ahead and assume that Landry Shamet moves back to the rotation. I got to shift all these positions. So Towns to power forward. Anunoby to small forward. Mikal Bridges to shooting guard. Much better. Now let's hit the playing time for the Knicks. Really only have to get Mitchell Robinson. 20 minutes and 13 minutes. 16 minutes and 17 minutes. I think realistically, like 19 is the best you could hope for here. 25 feels fine for Hart. Shamet's got to come back down. Let's see. In the games where Mitchell Robinson hasn't played, or has played, 21, 12, 18, and 15. Yeah, that feels like an 18 to me. Clarkson's just kind of sitting at 17 every day. Miles McBride just doesn't play the amount of minutes anyone ever expects for reasons I'll never know. Yabu finally getting a little bit more love. That guy's barely been playing for these dudes. He'll get these 9 minutes and I will excise Ariel Huck-Porty along with Tyler Kolek. Rates should be pretty close here, considering they were all dialed in yesterday. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Good enough. Brunson's still shooting even more free throws? No. I am under projected, but not because of his personal rates, so that's interesting. Orlando's not much of a foul team, are they? Dude, what Mitchell Robinson on the offensive boards has been dumb so far this season. I don't really know what to do that, but I don't think it continues in that aggressive format. All right, Knicks are fine here too. Let's look at game number 3. That one I moved through a little bit faster, which is helpful. Yeah, I mean, I think Desmond Bane is probably the guy here, but we probably need to have a conversation about Jalen Suggs. Rommel, it's a short form VOD on YouTube. I break down, so I'll go game by game with our boom bust tool pulled up and then bounce between DraftKings and FanDuel to show the differences. Yesterday's is up right now if you look for it. It's the same thumbnail style as the live show. It's just a different color. I think $4,700 Jalen Suggs is a thing today. If he can play those minutes, he's just not priced correctly. I don't think Bane's priced correctly at 6,200 either. Hell, Franz looks good. Towns looks fine. Goga center value. Nothing like breaking away from the pack here, but we're gonna have to pay really close attention to Jalen Suggs because how much he plays matters. And right now, even based on the way that I have Suggs projected, which I think is pretty aggressive, maybe not aggressive enough, still a 1.5 under his points prop. He's going to look really good in DFS. Do I need to do something to Anthony Black's scoring? Not really. All right, game number 4. Before we get to game number 4, I want to remind you guys that it would help us out tremendously if you were to download the Tails app and leave us a review. I'll talk about Tails on the show throughout this. We could look for some bets that people have put out, but we want this to be the go-to community for sports betting, pick'em, DFS, anything in this realm. We want to think about it like that. You can find anything on Twitter, right? Everybody knows that. You're looking for bets, there's a never-ending supply. Tails is curating that for you. We've got the feed, just like it. You can follow guys, totally free, see all their free picks, subscribe to guys if you want to, and get the paid picks from them. But we have a constant, steady stream on Tails of free plays that have been posted. It's already curated for you. You can track everything you're looking to find. I've got the picks feed pulled up right now on the screen. And depending on what you're looking for on that particular day, you can carve it out. National TV games for NBA tonight. You can just click on the NBA on ESPN trending topic and see what people have dropped so far, if they've dropped anything so far. It's obviously 8:40 a.m., so, some stuff probably comes a little bit later in the day. But if you're looking for bets, sift it out using specific sports. If you wanted NBA, Splash Bets dropped a parlay on here. You can tail it immediately. Supreme Juice hit a parlay last night. Lindy dropped some late night pick'em cards here, if that's the stuff you're looking for. Everything on this feed is totally free. Now, if you wanted to sign up for people, you can do that as well. Friend of the program, DK DFS, all you have to do, VIP access. Find the package that you're looking for the things that he covers. All of this is on Tails. And the large majority of the services here, if you don't subscribe to a regular human, is free. It's just free picks for you. So if you want them, if you think that would help you out, download the Tails app, Google App Store, or Google Play, the Apple App Store. Download. If you can, leave a review. Leave an honest star rating. If it's not going to be like a great review, maybe leave the star rating off. Either way. Any portfolio EV bets out there on the NBA side since we're here? Anything jumping off the screen? Yes. Jalen Johnson's assists, bunch of NoVig and ProfitX plays. A lot of value out there on portfolio EV right now. It's another thing you can sign up for through the link in the description. All right. Train keeps moving on. Grizzlies, Celtics. Both of these teams are on a back-to-back. I'm going to spend about 0 seconds on this. All right? Don't know who's going to be available either side. Celtics played yesterday. Grizzlies played yesterday. For the most part, I'm going to keep everything I have here the same. I'm not going to touch this. I don't think it's worth touching this. Other than, I guess I'm going to give, 4 more minutes to Vince Williams. But we don't know who's going to play for Memphis. Would you be surprised if Josh sat this back-to-back? I wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised if anybody's sat. I don't know if anybody's coming back from the injury report. This game is a 1:30 p.m. game, clear across the board. Same story for Boston. We don't know if anybody's going to be in or out. Why did Josh Minot play 8 minutes? Did he get hurt? Or did they pull that plug? Any of you guys watch that Boston-Philly game last night? Why did Josh Minot stop playing? Oh, boy. Huh. Yeah, he might not start today. Are they going to go to Jordan Walsh in that spot? They are, right? There's no way you pull a starter and don't play him in the second half if that guy's going to start the second half of a back-to-back. I'm not going to make that assumption now, but this feels like Jordan Walsh is going to start today. I'll flip it just because it's not really going to... Like, I could have done the minutes one way or the other. But that kind of just feels like it's going to happen. Jordan Walsh in 5 out of his last 6. 19, 24, 19, 26, 29. Yeah, he's just going to get that role. I'm like pretty confident in that. Now, what that ends up for Minot, I don't have the slightest. Shout out Anthony Simons. He was actually a decent value yesterday. Peyton Pritchard was one of my most exposed players yesterday, and he blew. So that wasn't really the best experience I've ever had. Short, neutral, short. Fine. I'm barely going to look at this right now. Jason Battle, thanks for following. Just because of these double back-to-backs, it's not going to get us anywhere to like really mess around here. Just on the surface, I like Peyton Pritchard probably as much as I did yesterday. I like Jaylen Brown. I like Derek White. I like Anthony Simons. I think these guys are solid enough values. It's all about how you piece them together. Clearly, all 4 of them aren't going to look good. The prices are manageable, and I don't mind this spot against Memphis. I don't think Ja looks awful either. And I had enough Jock Landale. He started off really strong yesterday. Kind of tapered off a little bit as it went. 26 minutes, 8 points, 8 boards, an assist, and a block. I mean, it feels like all of that happened in the first quarter. Wow, for a second I thought I was just pulling in these days wrong. 4 of 7 from the field, 4 of 7 from the field, 4 of 8 from the field, bonus shot, 4 of 7 from the field, 5 of 9, 6 of 8, 6 of 8, 3 of 7. This dude either takes 7 or 8 shots in every game. There's no deviation whatsoever from Jock Landale. God, that's silly. All right, for anybody that is here, if you can, hit the like button. Would help a ton. I like running that number up. Let me hit the schedule for the rest of the day. NFL strategy show coming up at 10. Let's see if we have it posted, because I don't know if we have a hockey show today or not. I'm guessing this. Oh, it is up. Thank you, Greg. We do have a hockey show. 1:30 p.m. NHL strategy show. Myself and DK DFS will be live at 5 on the Deeper Dive. Greg and Eric will be live at 6 for Live Before Lock. Greg and I will be live on Tails at 7. And then we'll have 2 more hours after that of coverage on Tails. But stay tuned for that first hour for our little bonus fun. Cleveland and Miami. Now, Cleveland beat Miami 2 nights ago. Lost to Miami 2 nights ago on a buzzer beater. 140 to 138. But fun buzzer beater, too. So this game is now, they're running this one back again in Miami. Cavs 6.5 point dogs, 238 total. Cavs are on the front end of a back-to-back. They've got the Raptors tomorrow in Cleveland. So Miami's got to fly out, or Cleveland's got to fly out of Miami tonight, get back to Cleveland. They've got the Raps tomorrow. I don't know if you guys can see the screen or not, but there's some injury news afoot for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Apparently some of these guys aren't going to be playing. I don't know if you'd heard, but it's a relatively thin group for Cleveland today. So let's hit it. Darius Garland, out. Donovan Mitchell, out. Evan Mobley, out. Jalen Tyson, out. Max Strus, obviously, still out. Oh, buckle up. We've been waiting for it. We've been waiting for it. 3 guys from the closing lineup not here, and technically you can call it 4, depending on the day for Max Strus. I guess Chris Livingston's available, and oddly enough, I might need to know that. So let's move the fringe DNPs to the rotation. Let's zero out all the minutes. Let's move Dean Wade to the starting lineup, Lonzo Ball to the starting lineup, and Sam Merrill to the starting lineup. Let's get Sam Merrill starting at shooting guard. Let's get Dean Wade starting at small forward. Oh, brother. This is going to be... I'm afraid. I'm afraid to see what comes out of this. All right, let's project the playing time. So, Lonzo's gotten 1 start. He got 26 minutes. Feels like that's going to be about where we need to be here for this one. Sam Merrill played 33 minutes last time out. 28 the previous game, got 27 a couple games ago. I don't like, I'm going to put 30 here right now. That could become more than that if we find out I need way more minutes. DeAndre Hunter, this one by all accounts looks like a 32-ish. I mean, Dean Wade's probably getting like 26. Like I said, these are just guesses to start. Because now I'm on the bench and none of these guys even play. Fade all of Cleveland and print? Yeah, that's a terrible idea. All right. I mean, Larry Nance, I guess, is going to have to play a decent chunk, as is Thomas Bryant. I'm going to get Nance in for like 22. I think Thomas Bryant's probably going to play like 8 at a minimum. Craig Porter Jr. is coming in for 20. We're still 46 minutes short. Oh my God, I'm going to hand out so many more minutes even after this. Tyrese Proctor is obviously going to get a decent chunk of run. I'm just going to go to like 18 right from the jump. Only guys left are Chris Livingston, Luke Travers, and Naquan Tomlin. And we have 28 minutes left to distribute. So I'm immediately going to 32 on Sam Merrill. I'm going to keep the 32 on Hunter, the 26 on Wade. I'm going to go to 31 on Jared Allen. I can't go any higher on Lonzo. I don't really want to go any higher on Larry Nance. I can get Craig Porter an extra. I can get Tyrese Proctor an extra. Realistically, I'm going to give 10 to Thomas Bryant. And then 21 minutes left is going to be 7, 7, and 7 for Tomlin, Livingston, Travers. They have 12 guys. We will have infinitely more information for this team once we get closer to lock. Wildly overprojecting Jared Allen right now, which is not a big shock. And I can't imagine his sample without all of these guys is all that reasonable. But can I lock him in? And all right, for right now, this is just going to be what it is. This is not a team where I'm going to micromanage rates. Let's look at Miami, get it set, and then take a look. Is Jared Allen really playing, or is he active to keep his game streak going? He's got a game streak. Oh, yeah. Played all 82 last year. Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's trying to keep that going because it's not anything or real. So, can't imagine that's a thing. All right, Miami. Obviously, Miami is in the same situation. They played Cleveland 2 nights ago, but they are not on a back-to-back. The Miami Heat have the New York Knicks on Friday in the NBA Cup. No Bam for this one. Still no Tyler Hero, obviously. Wait, yeah, that Brandon, he did, right? He missed one earlier this year. I didn't even think about it because I was just looking at the game totals, making sure like how many in a row it said 82, which was 1. Yeah, all right. So yeah, gonna go. I didn't. That's how little I even realized that was happening. It's so wrong. It's even wrong for this year already. All right, let's just tweak these Miami minutes. This shouldn't take all that long. These guys, not big deviators. I need a sip of coffee. All right, 31 for Davion. I'll keep 30 for Powell. I'm going to get Larson up to 26. I'm going to keep Wig at 33. And I think Ware feels about right at 27, maybe 28. That could go either direction. He's either going to play 22 or 30. Jaime Jaquez, 28. Probably a 29. Jovic. Man, I legitimately just don't trust this dude's minutes. But, you know, it's 26, 31, 19 in 3 games without Bam. You know, 24 feels about right. 17 for Drew Smith is fine. 18 for Fontecchio is fine. We'll cut Vlad and Kashad Johnson down to 2 and 2. And now we're good. Most of these rates should be okay. Actually, a little bit heavy on all things Miami. But I guess that's not all that surprising given the matchup. Probably underrepresenting Norm Powell a bit here. That'll probably bring everybody into balance a little bit more. Now, 2, almost 1, 2, 2, 2. I think that might just have to be the case. Free throws. Wow, dude, Norm Powell is shooting 5.7 free throws more than my baseline. He's at 11.7 so far this year per 100 possessions. Baseline rate for Norm Powell is 6. That's night and day difference. That's so many free throws. Wig shooting slightly. Now he's not shooting slightly more. Rebounds, assists, all look pretty reasonable. I guess Wig's rebounding a little bit less. Let's cut that. All right, let's take a look at this game. Man, top of the hour. We're not moving nearly fast enough. I will have to learn how to do this better. Cleveland, Miami. Now, remember, none of this is real right now. Craig Porter's $3,200. If he's playing like 20 minutes, he's probably going to be pretty interesting today as value. Lonzo, 6.9x, point guard, shooting guard eligible. If he's playing 26 minutes, exceptional play. Jared Allen is an exceptional play. Sam Merrill is an exceptional play. All of these guys are massive values. There's a case for Larry Nance. There's no issues with DeAndre Hunter. There's a real down the line case for Tyrese Proctor. Ware's fine. Wade's fine. This is going to be the most popular game on the slate unless I don't know what else is coming up. But we need a lot of news here. Starting lineup will be massive. This Cleveland-Miami game is going to be interesting for you guys on playback, because if we don't get that lineup till 7 o'clock, we're going to be doing a lot of mixing and matching. I don't think there's going to be any impact to Jared Allen's minutes. One, he hasn't been playing as much as the rest of these guys, but two, he's been playing well. But if he were going to, I don't think they would just play him half. It's either no play or all play is the way that I see this. Wizards and Rockets. Wizards lost that stupid OT game on Monday against the Pistons. They are 15.5-point underdogs today in Houston, 234 total. And now the Wizards don't play again until Sunday. Lucky for us, the Wizards and the Brooklyn Nets play on Sunday, and we're not going to have to deal with that in any way because no one cares about basketball on Sunday during the NFL season. So I don't get the sense I'm going to be firing up Wizards Nets on League Pass at 6 p.m. this weekend. You never know, though. You never know where the day will take you. CJ McCollum went bonkers last time out. Jameer Watkins not available in this one, nor is Sharif Cooper, nor is Bilal Coulibaly. Most of this rotation should be easy. I can't imagine these are going to be big tweaks. I'm going to bump CJ McCollum's minutes up slightly because apparently he's just going to keep playing. Trey Johnson is definitely a little too high there. It's fine. Middleton played 26 minutes last time out. That's encouraging. Keyshawn George at 29. Alex Sarr at 30. Bob Carrington, 28 works. Cam Whitmore, 29 apiece in both of his last two. I shouted that out Monday, and he was still a good value. I don't know what his price is today, but if it's still limited, people need to listen to me. Bagley's fine. Kispert can take on a couple minutes now. Because they have ended the Champagne experience. Good to know. 14 left for these guys. Nobody else really doing it. 7 Champagne, 7 Malachi Branham. Rates should all be fine. We just had these guys dialed in and I haven't made any tweaks. That is going to be an overprojection of Cam Whitmore. That should help. Yeah. Wizards rates all look fine. Let's look at the Houston team that's going to beat the shit out of them. So for Houston, still no Dorian Finney-Smith, but otherwise this is just the same Houston team we've been getting. So Amen Thompson in for 36 minutes, seems fine. Josh Okogie in for 23. Kevin Durant for 35. Jabari Smith for 32. 31. Alperen Sengun for 35. Tari Eason for 24. Adams for 20. Reed Shepard for 20. Clint Capella for 8. 4 and 4 for Holiday and Tate. Perfect. Probably have to tweak these. I can't remember the last time I looked at Houston. A little bit over on Amen Thompson, slightly under Okogie, neutral Durant, neutral Jabari, mostly neutral Sengun. That's just like a slight reduction to Amen Thompson. That's easy. If Sengun's going to be that over, I should probably bump. No, I don't even have it on Durant right now. Kevin Durant shooting, or I'm under by 1.5 free throws. Kevin Durant shooting 2.5 free throws per 100 possessions more than normal. He's at 10.4 right now. Rebounding. Well, apparently Josh Okogie is not participating in the rebounding side of this game. which I would have expected him to be a guy, but he must be a transition D dude. These guys are all offensive rebounding less? Like, clear across the board? I guess it's just a size thing. Like, everybody can do it, so everybody loses it. I'm afraid to look at this game right now. Cam Whitmore, 3,500. Small forward, power forward eligible. Looks like a great value today. And by great value, I mean a name brand at Walmart. But he looks good for real, 3,500. And that's 22 minutes. That is significantly less minutes than we've seen in the past 2 games. It appears I am going to be very interested in Alperen Sengun. That should not be something surprising. I want to talk about why very quickly. Because we've had this conversation before, and it's important. Alperen Sengun shoots 6.4 shots per 75 possessions at the rim. That's 84th percentile. It used to be more, but he swapped out some of those shots for threes. Fine. Obviously, Alperen Sengun, great rebounder, 80th percentile across both sides. But the Washington Wizards, where is it? Wizards allow the 8th most shots at the rim. Good. Now, they have been good at defending the rim, but that's an average rate, and this is Alperen Sengun. I love this spot for him. I love this spot for him. The other reason I love this spot for him, they are dreadful defensive rebounders. So whether it's Sengun, whether it's Steven Adams when he's out there, offensive rebounds are going to be massive here. I think Sengun's going to get like 10 free points from missed shots and hit just buckets. So I really like Alperen Sengun today at 9,300, but Cam Whitmore is a real value option. All right, 907. If it wasn't for these stupid FanDuel games, we'd be fine. Portland and New Orleans. So Portland's last game was Monday, lost to the Magic by 3. They're in New Orleans today, 7.5 point favorites, 231 total. Portland has the Rockets on Friday in the Cup. That's a really fun game. I hope everybody's as healthy as they can be for that one. I'd like to. That's a defensive, like real fun defense game to watch. Offense is going to be horrific in that one. Nika, no, it isn't. All right, so for Portland, Blake Wesley's still out, Matisse Thybulle still out, Scoot still out. This appears to be just the standard issue Portland Trailblazers rotation. So I'm guessing we're going to move through these guys pretty quickly. 34 minutes for Drew, 27 for Shaedon Sharpe, 34 for Kamara, 34 for Denny. Those could all be 35 and it wouldn't be crazy. I got 26 for Klingon, 29 for Jeremy Grant, 22 for Chris Murray, City Sissoko, Dwap Reith, Time Lord, Robert Williams, all just parts of the rotation. Nobody else is playing. Caleb Love, Ryan Rupert, Yang Hansen didn't play in the last 3 games. So very minimal minutes tweaks for these guys. Rate tweaks seem like they're going to happen a little bit more. We are going to have to take a quick look. Drew's light, Shaden's light, Kamar's fine, Avdi is fine, Klingon is over. Does that fix me? Nope, that killed Klingon. Does that fix me? Slight negative, slight positive, neutral, neutral. Nah, I'm way too negative on Drew. Now that should cover me. And it does. Great. All right, free throws. Not as many crazy free throw things going on in Portland. Denny and Shaden Sharp are the two guys I need to look at. Denny's shooting 3.3 free throws more than my baseline. So let's get him up to 11. Shaden Sharp's taking 1.9 more. He's at 7.6 so far this season. Wait. Oh, yeah. He used to be at 5.8. That's a pretty sizable increase to the free throws, too. I'm going to have to plot that. Well, tomorrow is a 3-game slate. So if you guys want to, like, do some deep dive research and look at some stuff, we can still go the full 2, but we're clearly not going to need it. We can turn this into a bit of a project, like office hours-y type thing tomorrow as well, if you guys want to. All right, assists. I'm 1 under on Drew. He's at 11.2 so far this season. Really just getting back to the guy that he had been prior to, taking the haircut for Boston. Shaden Sharp, on the other hand, assist rate down so far this season. Not surprising as well. Ball in his hands less. Plus, Denny's good, I am over projecting Denny's rebounds, but that's okay. He has been rebounding more, so it's all coming out in the wash. Light on Jeremy Grant's shooting, which is unsurprising. I'm going to tweak that rate. He's in base projections at 20.9 usage. Give him an extra usage point. Yeah, that probably squares him up a bit. It's still quite light. Is he a free throw guy that I missed? He is a free throw guy that I missed. 2.5 more free throws for Jeremy Grant this year. He's shooting 11 per 100 possessions, up 4 from baseline rates. That is why I'm missing Jeremy Grant's points prop right now. Now we got it. Now we'll go to New Orleans, a significantly less fun team to talk about in all aspects of basketball. No Jordan Poole still, no Zion still. So oddly enough, this actually should be relatively easy to project. 28 minutes for Fears seems fine. 34 for Herb Jones. I'm going to take 1 away because this is just a really terrible matchup. Trey Murphy, 36 is real. Sadiq Bey, 28 is real. Kevon Looney, 17 is real. Oh my gosh. Derek Queen's played 26, 25, and 25 3 games in a row. I needed him on Monday. And he even got more than I was expecting, which is heartbreaking. All right, 24 to Queen. Oh, okay. That's going to be the qualifier. I thought Misi came back. So now he is back. That will keep Queen where I'm at. That makes way more sense in my mind now. Are they really going to start Looney over Misi? Feels like they are. Jordan Hawkins just can't get enough burn right now. Guessing we could flatten these guys a little bit. I think that'll be fine. It's not like we're going to be looking to Jordan Hawkins, Carlo Makovich, and Micah Peavy today anyway. Those rates are mostly good. No, we're a little over. Who do we have projected? All right, so Looney's the only guy, and he even has too many shots. Yeah, I got to kill Bay here too as well. 17% usage guy. No, I don't want to look at Sadiq Bey's team page or player page. I'm confident I know what Sadiq Bey does now. Wow, that's really a bigger haircut than I was expecting. It's because I'm on the wrong fucking screen. Moron. I need to add some color coding to this for myself so I don't continue to do this. Okay, so north on Fears, way north on Jones. Now we're light on Looney and can fix that. 2 over, 1 over, 2 over, 2 over, 3 over. Not entirely sure I'm going to make these tweaks. It's probably too much on Herb Jones. All right, do we have free throw issues for these guys? Yes. Herb Jones is actually shooting slightly more free throws this year. Not typical for old Herbie the love bug. Okay, assists are miles different. But all my rates are fine, so I'm not changing that. Is Kevon Looney not even rebounding? No. Kevon Looney's defensive rebounding rate so far this season is down by 3 rebounds per 100 possessions. What a stupid contract that was, too. I still don't even understand what the hell they were thinking. Is Trey Murphy getting offensive rebounds? Sure is. All right, I'm going to assume that we're in the ballpark right now. Let's take a look at this game. Still have 45 minutes. We might actually get through this. Okay. Massive value on a $5,200 Jeremiah Fears. I'm not even going to dig into that any further. I need to go back and look and see if I actually have this broken or not. I'm over on his assists, but I'm okay with the rates. I'm over on his rebounds, but I'm okay with the rates. I'm over on his shooting. I'm not okay with the rates. That's the issue. That should put him close to where he should be. No, too far. Oh my gosh, this really is impactful. Maybe I pull this from him. And that's how I get to Murphy. And that's how I get to Bay. No, that really does just do that, huh? Why is this over projecting everybody? This is driving me nuts. I guess I gotta lock them all. It's like Pokemon. You gotta catch them all. I gotta catch all these usage rates. All right, that's good enough. I'm gonna assume now that Jeremiah Fears is not as preposterous as he looked before. Wrong game. There we go. Okay, still a solid enough value. Still a solid enough. I've been getting to him too much. I just want to put that out there that doesn't make me happy. But I do think that Fears is the best guy here. If you're getting to this Pelicans game. Fears, Bay, Trey Murphy. I mean, I certainly like the Pelicans side more, but this is a horrific matchup for New Orleans. I don't know how they're going to create against this Portland side, because while I like Herb Jones, I don't think he's going to enjoy the Toumani Camara experience all that much. And I am positive that Jeremiah Fears has no idea what's about to happen to him when he gets Drew Holiday in his jersey. These Pelicans guys are going to look good from a value spot. They are not going to make me feel comfortable given the defensive talent on the opposite side of this game. All right, speaking of games that we weren't able to talk about all that much, this is going to be another one. Golden State on a back-to-back. They got the shit kicked out of them by Oklahoma City last night. Now they're in San Antonio taking on the Spurs. We don't know their injury report. Would it be surprising at all if Steph sat or Butler sat or Draymond sat? No. Do I have any idea if any of those guys are sitting today? No. The only thing that I can assume is that Al Horford is actually going to play today. After that, don't know. Not even going to try to know right now. We need their injury report. It's 9 o'clock in the morning right now. This is not the place we guess. That minute can go. That minute can go. Let's just make slight tweaks to these minutes. Like, is Steph going to play? I don't know. He only had to play 20 minutes yesterday because they got destroyed. So maybe. I think I'm just going to keep most of these minutes the same. I'm going to take one more off a post. Pod seems fine. Haircut buddy healed. And then that should be good. Rates should be okay since they're from yesterday. Yeah, that's all going to be mostly fine. I guess I do got to kill Steph's rebounding a little bit. Not getting in the paint the same, old man. All right, Spurs side we could actually talk about, though. They beat up on the Bulls on Monday. They've got the Warriors today. And they've got the Warriors on Friday, which I did not mention before. But while this isn't a back-to-back, we're running this game back again in San Antonio for the NBA Cup on Friday. So, no Dylan Harper, no Harrison Ingram. Riley Minix available. I'm going to put him right in the DNP section right out of the gate. Because, you know, why wouldn't I? Now let's figure out what this rotation is going to actually look like. Because they got some moving parts. They've gotten guys back. De'Aaron Fox played 37 minutes last time out. I'm going to go to 33, but we need to keep an eye on that. Castle to 34, I think, makes sense. Vassell to 33 makes sense. Barnacle 29 is fine. Wemby 34. Keldon Johnson feels about right at 21. I think that could actually be 22. Unicornet came back. He played 20. 19 feels good. That did have a giant impact in Jeremy Sohan, which is not surprising because he sucks and Luke Cornett is better than him. Julian Champagny continues to just play real minutes, even with these dudes back. So there's our 9-man rotation for the Spurs. In theory, you know, we've got some other guys that could pop up here, but I don't think that's how it's set up today. Chris Kennedy, congrats, man. All right, let's look at rates here. We are way over on shot attempts for Devin Vassell, under for the Barnacle of the Bay, way over on Wemby. That should help to thin that out. No, still miles over on these guys. All right, better for Wemby, neutral Vassell, neutral Fox, slightly over Castle, neutral Barnacle. That's really not that bad. Free throws. Ooh, Stephon Castle taking extra free throws here. Not by a ton, but a little bit. Appears I've already dealt with that. Rebounding. I don't want to tweak Fox just yet. I'm heavy on Wemby. Not as many offensive rebounds, but the defensive rebounds have been massive. And then Harrison Barnes has been rebounding a little bit less so far this season. Not all that surprising. These guys have more bigs around. Keldon Johnson's the last guy I got to look at here. That should probably do it. All right, let's look at this game. Obviously a tricky one with the Warriors side. Cornet's not going to be getting 30 minutes by the end of the season. Okay, Golden State, San Antonio. I mean, unsurprisingly, it's Wemby, 11-6, center eligible. Sort of best option. I guess Castle would be next in line. I don't really like this game all that much. Not a ton of value in comparison to what we've looked at before. Does make for an interesting Wemby versus Giannis call. Position is going to matter there. Look, 7,100 for De'Aaron Fox is at least something. Because that price tag, I think, is going to be a bit higher soon enough. For right now, if everybody's in for the Warriors, I don't really think you're going that direction at all. Code Gamer. Well, if he's sitting a leg of that back-to-back, he's sitting Saturday because it's impossible for him to sit on Friday. He can 100% not sit Friday's game. Locked into playing that one, barring injury. Final game of the night on the DraftKings slate. I'll probably move a little bit faster for the final three, just to get us up to that 10 o'clock window. But I will have that when I do the VOD version. You'll get those three games broken down for FanDuel clean. So remember, coming out of this show, don't worry about takes or setups for any of these individual sites. Like, yes, I have DraftKings in front of me. It's mostly for eyeballing. The VOD is where you want to be for info, because that cuts all the nonsense, all the bullshit. It's just me, one game, all the thoughts. Probably takes like a 90-second shot at each game, and you get the whole concise slate quickly. All right, Suns beat the Pels by 1 billion on Monday. Front end of a back-to-back today. They're in Dallas, and then they're at home for the Pacers tomorrow. Great spot for the Suns, at least for the second one. Jalen Green apparently going to be out for a while, which sucks. I was optimistic about him. I'm a fan in that I think there's something there. Like, he obviously doesn't create a ton of winning basketball right now, but that's a skill set that, like, you can't teach. And if you can teach him the things that help it, that becomes a disproportionately good guy. Not a lot to look at here for the Suns. 37 minutes for Booker. I'm going to take down to 36. Grayson Allen at 33 minutes. Feels about right. Dylan Brooks to 28. Royce O'Neal to 29. Mark Williams is fine at 27. Ryan Dunn to 23. Colin Gillespie to 23. Jordan Goodwin, 16. Nick Richards, 10. Iguodaro, 10. Something like that works. Jalen Green is Zach LaVine. They're like inverse offensive guys. I mean, Zach LaVine is a legit good shooter. Like, no matter what we say about Zach LaVine's an elite three-point shooter. Let's look at rates here for Phoenix. By the way, I haven't asked in a while. If you can hit that like button, it helps us out. We need to figure out a giveaway for this show, too. I want to get you guys in the comments section having some convos. All right, I haven't set any usage rates, so that should make this a little bit easier. Way light Dillon Brooks, way light Grayson Allen, neutral book, way over Mark Williams. So Brooks is going to have to get locked in there almost immediately. That's going to have to be like 23 or 24. And then if I take that bite at a Mark Williams, that should get me there a little bit quicker. Slightly light Royce, slightly light Brooks, way light Allen, slightly neutral Booker. Yeah, I'm probably taking that the wrong direction. What happens here? Oh my God, Grayson Allen down by $1 billion. I typed the wrong damn number in that cell. All right, is Dillon Brooks good? No. Oh, I got to figure this out. Maybe this will eat Mark Williams on his own. Ah, it does. Nice. Slightly over Book, slightly under Allen, quite a bit under on Brooks and O'Neal. That's an easy fix. That's a boom and a boom. I got to really stop mouse swiping or disable it or something because it's not helping me right now. Under, over. That should free up everything. Oh, too much. Do I think Dallas trades AD? Yeah, I'm surprised we've waited this long for that kind of conversation. So they should. I don't know why they wouldn't. He's useless to them. The problem is I don't know where he goes. I don't know what team would want him. And I think there's going to be a giant disparity in what they think they should get compared to what they can get. There's no value in Anthony Davis. He already makes what he should, if not more. He's due for an extension in the summer. And if you're trading for him, you got to expect you got to give that to him. He's going to want 60 plus million a year. You're going to need to sign him to like 40 for it to be any good. I don't know where he goes. I don't know which team would want him. I don't think it could even happen during the season. If it does, one, it's going to be complicated. Two, it's 100% going to include the Brooklyn Nets because they're going to have to be a dumping ground because they have $15 million in cap room. If it happens, I think it happens in the summer. But they should do everything in their power to trade him and make sure he's healthy enough to be traded. He is a meaningless piece to this team. Get out of it, get younger, and get yourself back on the right path with Cooper Flagg and Derek Lively. Send AD back home to the Bulls. It's the first thought that I had, but I don't know how that works out. Could he go back to LA in the summer? No. Dude, Dillon Brooks is really shooting free throws? That's crazy. No, there's zero chance to go to the Lakers. Is Grayson Allen? No, he's not rebounding more. All right, that's going to be good for Phoenix. Let's go to this Dallas team while we keep talking about it. I think the Bulls make the most sense. It would probably have to be something like Kobe White, and you probably try to get Vooch to a third team. If not, you got to add up like Patrick Williams and somebody else. Yeah, I mean, the Mavs should obviously not swap him for Sabonis. That's a fucking dreadful move. All right, let's get D'Angelo Russell out of that starting lineup. Let's get Brandon Williams in. Dallas has the Clippers on Friday in the NBA Cup. No Exum, no Irving for this one. Derek Lively questionable. So this is going to be a pretty stupid rotation to deal with right now. All right, Brandon Williams' minutes have been picking up. D'Angelo Russell's minutes have been putting down. Get him in for 18. And I'm going to get Brandon Williams in for like 27 now, but that could be a much bigger number. Okay, so Timberwolves, kind of like the shot. It's almost impossible to... It's impossible to do during the season. But if the Wolves have a weird year, I don't hate the idea of turning Rudy Gobert into Anthony Davis. That's a better fit for that team. They just don't have anything to do with it, and I don't know how the rates would work. Miami, to me, makes zero sense. Because it's either got to be Tyler Hero going out, Norm Powell going out, or Andrew Wiggins going out. Doesn't feel like they're going to send Hero. Hero's extension eligible right now. I don't like the fit for AD and Bam. Pacers, 1,000,000% you could put the Pacers down as dead last. Impossible. I mean, trading Luka for AD, like, okay, how could I say this? The problem wasn't trading for AD. The problem was not getting everything else. Like, I would never trade Luka Doncic because I would want to be in the Luka Doncic business. But you can trade him. You just have to get the right stuff back. The fact that they didn't even get all of the Lakers' draft assets was insane. Like, if we woke up that morning and it was like, and let's say the Lakers had different pick situations and it was like, oh, it's Anthony Davis, Max Christie, and 5 firsts. You'd be like, well, I mean, they traded Luka, but, you know, they did get everything they could possibly get that's not nailed down. That's not what happened. And that's the problem. That's the problem. Max Christie for 30 minutes. But anyway, taking it back, I don't know where AD goes. His best fit is impossible. There's no way he's going to New Orleans again. They need a center worse than any other team in the league, basically. I have one, and I haven't heard a soul say it yet. Not a single person said this one out loud. I don't like it. I want to be very clear here. I don't think it's a good allocation of resources in any way. But if Cleveland fucks this up this year, isn't the Evan Mobley AD front court a little bit more interesting if you swap out Jared Allen and Darius Garland? Can you get Darius Garland to Dallas in this scenario to be the new point guard for this team with Cooper Flagg and with Derek Lively? Because I like every bit of that fit. And I think that makes Cleveland better. Depends what else is happening, because if Allen and Garland are going out, Dallas has to send some more shit back, because Darius Garland and Jared Allen are more valuable by a lot than Anthony Davis. I mean, I like the San Antonio shout too. If they hadn't done Fox, it'd be interesting. AD and Mobley is a horrible fit? What are you talking about? Just so we're clear here, you think it's a worse fit than Jared Allen is? Come on. It's the dream fit. It's 2 all-defense guys and an Evan Mobley who... The Cleveland Cavaliers are only going to win an NBA title if Evan Mobley can shoot threes. Yeah, we got to stop thinking that playing power forward and center is a thing. If they got to tell AD he's the power forward when Mobley's on the floor, that's fine. Shit, I'm wasting too much time talking about this. Brandon, ignore Kyrie. He is a meaningless basketball player moving forward. They need an actual starting point guard that's young. They don't need Kyrie in 2026 with a 20-year-old Cooper Flagg. Just keep Kyrie here for right now as an understudy and then get him the hell out of here. Kyrie Irving is useless moving forward. He's just a guy now. No one should give a shit what Kyrie Irving is doing for the rest of his NBA career. If you get anything from him, great. The Dallas Mavericks shouldn't plan to use Kyrie Irving in any way. If they can, awesome. If Mobley was Porzingis, then yeah, it'll work. Well, yeah, that's the plan, man. They did extend Kyrie, but like not really. It's a year. It's next year, essentially. Is AD even going to play today? Yeah, we got to stop thinking that Kyrie Irving is going to matter in any sort of basketball sense at this point. Because he's not. He can't. That's a lot of minutes to this Mavs team, and I don't know where to take them from. If Anthony Davis plays, that is. Bring back the 6 a.m. prod. Too early for me, man. That's a young man's game. That's a young man's game. What the fuck am I going to do with these minutes? This Dallas team might have too many dudes now. I mean, if one of AD or Lively just sits, it's going to be fine. But who's leaving this rotation if this is a 10-man rotation? Where do these minutes go? I guess I'm going to take Brandon Williams down one more. Russell down one more. Clay's going to have to be fine there. Gafford to 16. Lively to 14. Clay to 17, I guess. I don't like any of this. Rates are going to be next level stupid here, too. All right, we only have PJ and then the bench guys, so that's fine. Bench guys are under, but that's a quick fix. 17 and a half. 23. Was Najee short? Not really. All right, over PJ Washington. Over Brandon Williams. That's an easy fix. 21 and a half. 21 and a half. Miles too high. 19 and a half. I forgot AD is like a huge issue in this scenario. All right, free throws. Nothing interesting on Dallas. That's good. Assists. Brandon Williams is getting about 7.7 so far this season. Or sorry, no, he's down. He's at 5.8 this season. Assist rate is down so far for Brandon Williams. Probably just looking for a shot more on this team. Most of the rebounding looks fine. All right, I guess that game's done. I think we have just covered the DraftKings slate from rotations. We'll go through the minutes quickly on the FanDuel side. We got about 18 minutes left to go. Final game is that Phoenix-Dallas game. We need the news. But if Brandon Williams is getting the start, 4,700 point guard only is going to be the highest point per dollar play in this game. But we got a lot of Q tags. I could take a quick look at the whole slate, at least for right now. My first glance, Craig Porter Jr., Lonzo, Jared Allen, Sam Merrill, Larry Nance, DeAndre Hunter, all these Cleveland guys, just massive value. Based on everybody that's out, shouldn't be surprising. Cam Whitmore value. I like Sengun as a pay up pretty considerably. Probably my preferred pay up. Then Giannis. Then probably Wemby. But you guys can see the screen right now. This is going to be a tough slate. Giannis questionable, Cade questionable, AD questionable, Giddey questionable. That's 4 of the top 5 guys in salary. We'll see what that ends up being. But there's a lot to move around right now. Let's see if we've got any interesting bets out there on Portfolio EV right now. And you guys can sign up for Portfolio EV, link in the description. If you want to take like a market-based approach to beating the sports books and pick'em sites, this is the way to do it. Don't stress about it. Take the value, take the bets, fire off 100 bets a day, and just incrementally grow your edge. Our NBA data in Portfolio EV has been exceptional for years. And we have a portfolio lab here with our historical data in it. You can go back and find your angles and see exactly how this has performed forever. So don't be afraid to check that out. Tons of good value here, though. De'Aaron Fox under PRA, heavy value. A lot of the games we haven't touched on are ones with news. All right, let's finish off these 3 final games because we still have a couple rotations to hit. I'm not going to worry too much about minute or the rate changes. I just want to make sure that we're talking about what's going on in these games. Lakers are 6.5-point underdogs in Oklahoma City, 229 total. Lakers beat Charlotte on Monday. They've got the Pelicans in New Orleans on Friday for the NBA Cup. So this is just a dog shit game for the Lakers against the best team in basketball by 1.5 miles. Luka minutes seem fine. Austin Reeves minutes seem fine. Marcus Smart just playing this season. Crazy. Rui seems fine. Ayton seems fine. Laravia good. Vando good. Hayes good. Connect good. Laker rates are fine. OKC. Now, OKC is on the back-to-back. They had the Warriors yesterday. Lakers today. They don't have a cup game Friday. They've got the Hornets on Saturday. So they've got 2 days off now. Michael, nice. 2 free sim months. Love to see it. So we're going to assume Lou Dort is playing today. We do not know if that's the case. We don't know the status of Aaron Wiggins. If J-Dub showed up today, it wouldn't shock me, but I don't think that's happening. I think he's got like 2 more weeks yet. But we don't know anything because we don't have their injury report. So I'm going to be very, very brief here. Just hand out minimal minutes. Cut AJ Mitchell back a bit. Just get these guys calibrated a little because we've barely seen Dort. He's missed the last 4. He's missed 5 of 6. We have no idea if he's back. Still going to get big minutes out of AJ Mitchell and Joe. Wouldn't be surprised at all if Caruso didn't play today. But that should be a decent enough pass on the OKC rates. I got this game at 9.5, so also not out of the realm of possibility. Somebody's going to sit here. The other 2 games left on the FanDuel side, since they have the whole shebang today. Hawks at Kings. Hawks played on Monday, beat the Clips. Front end of a back-to-back. They've got the Kings today. 3.5-point favorites in Sacktown, 234 total. They've got the Jazz tomorrow. Very nice road trip here for this Atlanta team. They are without a bunch of guys. Trey is the only one that matters. The rest of these guys are all fake guys that nobody gives a shit about. Q tag, though, on Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Obviously important if he's not going to be in. Most of these minutes should look pretty normal. Now, Nickeil Alexander-Walker has missed the previous 2, so keep in mind, you're going to need this dude to play. Dyson Daniels just playing massive minutes. Resache minutes have been creeping up a little bit. Probably has a lot to do with all these guys just being out, so I'm going to keep him at 26. Jalen Johnson at 33 seems fine. KP 28. It's going to become 27. Okongwu can sit at 27 as well. Kennard has been more tapered off. Missed 2, played 20. Keaton Wallace has been the guy that's benefiting with Nickeil Alexander-Walker out. That will change, clearly. And then we need to think like Vit Krejci also getting a little bit of minutes so far recently. Not sure how much that matters if Nickeil Alexander-Walker is back, but he is there. Now, on the Sacramento side, God, I hate this team so much. They're so bad. They're so bad. So, Lost by 14 last night to Denver, so we don't know their injury report. They're on the second half of the back-to-back. At least they're at home. And they've got the Wolves on Friday in the Cup. Gonna make small tweaks here. Don't think it's gonna take too much. Precious Achua has been playing for these guys lately. Got the start last time out. No, that's not going to be the case, is it? Let's get 20 for Precious. Got 32 in there for Sabonis. Get like, I don't know, 28 for Schroeder. 24 for Monk. 18 for Clifford. 16 for Ellis. Drew Eubanks playing a lot more lately. Still just backup run, though. Something like that. Josh, where would you want to see the Kings go at the deadline? They should trade everybody on their team. So everyone. They're not going to get anything. There's no value. Zach LaVine has no value. You can't get anything for him. DeMar DeRozan has negative value. I don't think you can get all that much for Sabonis. But I would trade everybody. Every single person I could. There's not a legitimate person I would want to keep outside of Keegan Murray. Get rid of everything. Everything. They're all garbage. They're all garbage. Problem is nobody wants them. They're just going to be shit. The Sacramento Kings are going to be awful for years. They have no path out of this. And they're also owned by an incompetent owner in a way that is like hard to describe sometimes. Final game of the night. Denver also on the back-to-back. They had the Kings last night. They've got the Clippers today. Nuggets are 3.5-point favorites in LA. They've got the Wolves on Saturday. Injury report for Denver doesn't exist. Rotation, not going to change it. This is Denver. I mean, what teams would you want them to go to? No, but I mean, shitty teams. No one wants Zach LaVine. No one wants DeMar DeRozan. They just got to go to shittier teams. No, nobody wants any of these players. Would Domantas Sabonis be like a common fit in like New Orleans or Charlotte? Yeah, but like, you know, they're all just the same different kind of shitty teams. But like, I wouldn't take DeMar DeRozan for free. So it's tough. I don't think they're going to be, they're going to find a lot of lack of success trying to get rid of their guys because they are all negative. Clippers lost to the Hawks on Monday. They got the Nuggets today. They got the Mavs in the Cup on Friday. Bradley Beal out for this one. And by all accounts, seems like he's going to be out for a minute. No, I hate the LaVine to Detroit idea. That is a atrocious way to spend salary for them. Harden, Dunn, Jones, Collins, Zubats is the expected starting lineup here. We saw John Collins get the start in the last Clippers game, and apparently that is going to be continuing moving forward. We've also seen the minutes ramp up for Chris Dunn lately. 30, 24, 33, and 36. That 24 happened in a game where no one really played. So they definitely seem to be leaning on him more. Shocking that they're playing the defensive guy next to the non-defensive guy. Who could have seen that one coming this season? The minutes for John Collins are obviously ramping up, especially now starting. I'm going to go 28, but realistically, that could be north of 30, and it wouldn't be surprising. Zubats, unfortunately, not as good so far this year. That's been not something I expected. 16 minutes for Brook. 20 for Batum. 16 for Cam Christie. Let's take Kobe Brown, Bogey, and CP out. Leaves me 36 minutes left. So that's 12, 12, 12. 12, 12, 12. What happened to Bogdanovich? I mean, he's been awful for years now. Awful for years. Nothing too crazy to wait for on this Clippers game. Guys, we have been live for an hour and 55 minutes. And we have projected the rotations for 24 of the 30 NBA teams today. The moment this show ends, I'm going to get these projections and our first run of ownership posted to Stokastic. After that, you guys will get the NBA Strategy Show VOD, where I will break down every one of these games for the slate. And then keep your eyes out for the starting five, my 5 favorite plays at point guard, shooting guard, small forward, power forward, and center, and some of the lineups we can sim around those dudes. This was fun. Tomorrow, way different vibes. 3 games. We're going to be able to explore. We're going to be able to experiment with different stuff. Really take a look at some of these. It's the short slates that we're going to have the most fun on. Because tomorrow, we can really dig into these teams. We don't have that same ability on days like today. But if we dig in tomorrow, that kind of work will pay dividends for the next week for the 6 teams that we just looked at. And then when we get to Tuesday and we have another short slate, allegedly, that will point us in that same direction. Well, thanks for being here, guys. Final reminders. 1. Really need you guys to download the Tails app and leave us a review. That means the world to me. None of these are here? Where did all my... Oh, there it is. And don't forget to sign up at Stokastic, link in the description. Constantly pulling winners from the Stokastic Hall of Fame. But really, guys, I'll see you guys in a bit. Deeper dive later tonight. Live before lock later tonight. And don't forget, surprise guest on playback sometime between 7 and 8. And let me be clear, you're not going to guess this.